This is the OIF Update, a weekly roundup of news and feature stories about troops serving in Operation Iraqi Freedom. I'm Army Sergeant Tom Conning. Multinational Corps Iraq troops will get core warrior values training over the next month as the command deals with allegations that Marines murdered unarmed civilians in Haditha last November. During a Pentagon press briefing, MNCI's Chief of Staff laid out the plan. Army Sergeant Angel Ringo has the story.
Brigadier General Donald Campbell told Pentagon reporters the interactive PowerPoint training includes 5 scenarios meant to get troops talking about how they should react legally and morally. Situations range from encountering a roadside bomb to being fired upon from a mosque or school. The Chief of Staff says the refresher reinforces training troops receive prior to deployment.
It's only necessary in that we've got to make sure that soldiers understand what is right and what is wrong. And 99% of them, 0.9, do it correctly every day in the field here in Iraq.
The training comes after allegations of misconduct November 19th, in which Marines allegedly murdered unarmed civilians after a comrade was killed by a roadside bomb. The incident spawned 2 investigations, one examining whether or not troops committed any crimes, and the other to see whether there was an attempted cover-up. Campbell says it's tough to pinpoint exactly what causes cases like this.
It's very difficult to determine, in some cases on this battlefield, who is a combatant and who is a civilian. It doesn't excuse the acts that have occurred, and we're going to look into them. But I would say it's stress, fear, isolation, and in some cases they're just upset. They see their buddies getting blown up on occasion and they could snap.
Campbell says it's not possible to script every scenario troops may encounter, but the training is an effort to prepare them. Sergeant Angel Ringo, Baghdad.
A multinational force spokesman denies troops acted inappropriately during an airstrike in Iraqi. MNFI spokesman Major General William Caldwell says the ground forces commander followed the rules of engagement during a March 15th raid 60 miles northwest of Baghdad. The investigating officer found the troops used escalation of force appropriately and said allegations that they hid crimes by using the airstrike are completely false. Elsewhere, field artillery units typically provide the military with long-range attack capabilities. Specialist Marshal Pester reports the 427th Field Artillery Battalion's job is now to provide long-range security around Baghdad.
Soldiers from the 427th Field Artillery Battalion protect the airways around Baghdad International Airport for Operation Safe Skies. The troops watch over the roads going to and from BIOP at Observation Post San Juan. 2 batteries of soldiers rotate standing guard at the remote location known to them as Bear Country. Bear Battery Commander Captain Kirill Shekovnovsky says many things go into protecting the airspace.
They will also conduct mounted and dismounted patrols at various times of day and night. They will also talk to local populations, see if they see any strange people.
They also search for weapon caches that insurgents could use to threaten aircraft. Missions like Operation Bear Hunt focus on finding those weapons. Regardless of whether they find anything or not, they say their presence can help decrease attack.
You have to approach it from different angles. OP is just a part of it. Another part is actually engaging the local population so they can help us out.
Day and night, the Bears are on the prowl to make sure they don't lose an aircraft on their watch. I'm Specialist Marshal Pesta, Baghdad, Iraq.
Several events marked the Memorial Day weekend on Camp Victory. Multinational Corps Iraq honored fallen troops during a ceremony at Al Fayed Palace. MNCI Commander Lieutenant General Peter Corelli joined troops to reflect on the day.
Today we honor selfless service of American service members on our Memorial Day, a day of remembrance for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for liberty and freedom.
In another event, hundreds of soldiers spent part of their Memorial Day weekend running the first Iraqi Boulder road race. Sergeant Rebecca Haney, a Boulder, Colorado native, joined over 600 other runners in the 10K contest.
Oh my gosh, this is awesome. I get a chance while my friends and my family are running in Colorado.
The run is an annual Memorial Day event in Colorado and will likely become an enjoyable event at Camp Victory. And finally, country music star Toby Keith wrapped up a 4-day tour in Baghdad, entertaining troops at Camp Victory. He played 3 shows a day, from Mosul to Fallujah. Toby Keith joked and sang for hundreds of soldiers on Camp Victory. He played a variety of his hit songs, including I Love This Bar. Even though most of his songs were lighthearted, his reason for entertaining the troops goes deeper. His latest tour marked Keith's 4th trip to Iraq, a commitment that stems from his father, who served in the military.
Once he passed on, this is just kind of me carrying the torch for him, and I have something to offer. That is a piece of America and music and maybe a smile.
The smiles, along with cheers and applause, peppered his 45-minute performance. Sergeant Torrey Cavalier, a soldier from 10th Mountain Division, waited in front of the stage for 4 hours to get a seat.
It's kind of ironic, a place you don't want to be, and you get to see somebody who you really want to see.
Although Keith played for less than an hour, he gave his audience some time to relax and laugh while continuing to show his dedication to the troops and his father. And that's the OIF Update. From Camp Victory in Baghdad, I'm Army Sergeant Tom Conning for the Multinational Corps Iraq Public Affairs Office.